So guys, Stephen A. Smith said something pretty interesting the other day on First Take when they was talking about Travis Hunter.
And the last point, the negativity about this kid off the field, how people try to get all of his business, the Heisman and all of that other stuff. I would like to remind the world that wasn't us. That was folks on in social media and stuff like that. We don't do that on this show. You make news for things related to your work, your job description. Yeah, it's open for discussions. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Molly can testify to this. The producers, everybody can testify to this. There's a whole bunch of stuff we wouldn't dream of broaching. We don't roll like that. No doubt. It's not what we do.
Y'all heard what he said, right? He said, we only talk about you about your job. You know, you only make the news because of your job that you do, which is him playing football, right? And then he also said, we don't do that. We don't go over the stuff that happens off the field with you. So why wasn't he using that same logic when he was talking about LeBron James last month?
I suggest that he be happy with the things that I haven't brought up. I never brought up really and never really discussed why you were not at Kobe Bryant's memorial service. I never really brought up or discussed why you did not attend Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame induction when that man was directly responsible for you capturing a championship for the first time in your career. I brought up none of that. I didn't bring up the fact that even though you couldn't go to the Hall of Fame induction of Dwayne Wade weeks earlier, you were out of the country on business. I didn't bring that up. That's your personal business, okay? But the fact is, you wasn't at the Hall of Fame induction of a brother.
You see what I mean? Why would he mention him not being at Kobe Bryant's memorial service and Dwayne Wade's the Hall of Fame ceremony? What does that have to do with him playing on the court? That's off the court stuff. That doesn't make sense to bring up, especially on like First Take. It's one thing to say that like on your own platform, you want to say that, but to say it on First Take was kind of crazy. That's why it's like, why would you say that? That's why when I heard him say that thing about Travis Hunter about not talking about the stuff off the field, I was like, wait a minute. Aren't you saying who legit said this about LeBron a month ago? About stuff that happened off the court? But I think most people already know Stephen A. Smith contradicts himself though.